Yo, part two of the podcast will be dropping tomorrow. But right now, I just wanted to go over something that I felt is important, is vital. Um, this came to me. I have things come to me sometimes, quite often actually. Um, but when they do, sometimes they simmer a little bit, and I feel like sometimes I feel like I need to get it out and share it. Uh, but here we go. Um, you got to be careful with your relationships and your friendships that you got right now in this lifetime. Um, it seemed like we're going through a great divide, I feel like. Um, in specifics, I'm going to say I want you to be careful and mindful of how much of a percentage that you are extending compared to what you're receiving. Um, and I say that's a normal, typical thing. You know, you always want to make sure um, you always want to make sure the percentages is equal when you involved in any type of partnership or relationship or friendship, any type of pact, whatever. Um, I say it to say um, I'm noticing that people will people will distance themselves. They'll they'll be hot and cold. Um, People will want you to show that they want you to extend more so than them extend. And if you can already pick up on what I'm saying, you probably went through it, or you probably can understand it, or you probably even do it. Um, but I say for children and women, a lot of the things I say, I don't, unless it's a specific topic on a child or a woman. They can be careless about things, but a man really can't be careless about things. So when I say be careful with how much you extending yourself, because the more you extend yourself and you don't get anything back, that person gonna make you keep extending yourself, and they're gonna keep on not trying to meet you halfway. And you got to understand it's an agenda behind that. Like, you got to really understand that it's an agenda behind a lot of the motives of people because of this great divide. Say for instance, you reaching out, or you have a operation with someone, and it's a friendship or it's a relationship, an agreement, a partnership, a pact, a brotherhood, or whatever. At all times, on an organic and natural state, you should never question what you're giving out compared to what you're receiving. And I feel like if that awareness rises, then I think that you should make a decision, whether you should depart or whether you should give it some type of light. Now, I'm gonna say, if you give it light, I need you to be prepared to be the culprit. Like, I want you to be prepared for that. Meaning, if you reaching out, or it's something that's going on, it's normal operation, or it could be something that needs to take place, or it needs work. If you keep extending your hand or extending yourself, and it's not being met, then you have to pay attention to whether somebody wants control, or whether it's even worthy of anything to someone. So be prepared to be the culprit, because if someone isn't meeting you halfway or extending their hand just as much as you are, the motive can be a lot of things, but typically it's gonna turn into either a person wants control, or a person wants you totally out of the picture, so that they can be the one. So you know what I mean? Because it's gonna be too difficult to deal with somebody like you in a relationship or a partnership, a pact or a brotherhood. They basically letting you know that they don't want to deal with you without saying it. So they'll want you to say it and identify it. And if you say it and identify it in a fashion that isn't acceptable or isn't just acceptable, it's going to turn into a blow up, and that person's going to, in return, act like you are doing something that you've been doing, that you've been not extending your hand. It's almost going to turn into that, or it's going to turn into a lot of excuses as to why there hasn't been any energy put into the pact or the friendship or the relationship or what have you. And depending on the type of person, you know, they may just be tired of you being around. They may just be tired of the fact that they will have to deal with you. They will have to have a partnership with you. They didn't know that it was going to be like this. So again, they may turn it into like it's your fault, or like, what you talking about, you tripping, you know. But all in all, it's like, if you talking to somebody out of a relationship, a friendship, a brotherhood, or a pact, typically it should be organic. It should all be natural. So anything that you say, it should never come from an angle of disrespect, confusion, embarrassment, or anything other than strictly organic concern, camaraderie, and overall understanding. So you could not even give it any insight. You don't have to bring it to the table. You could just notice that there isn't any energy, being reciprocated, and then you could just transition your energy into just something for you, something for yourself, or create another pact or another friendship or another brotherhood or whatever you need to do. But it's very vital that you pay attention to the percentile that you get from people right now. If you're giving and you're not getting, then you might want to understand that they may be waiting for you to end it, because they don't have what it takes to end it. And sometimes it's from the beginning of the pact. They know that it's not what they want, but they still get involved in it because, again, it's a great divide. So it's an opportunity for someone to kick up dust. So you got to be very careful of these different types of spirits inside of people nowadays. It's a real great divide. So I ain't gonna kick it too long, but I just wanted to put that out there. Again, tomorrow I will be dropping part 2 of my introduction to the podcast, which is my topic on men, being men building with men. I had some pretty good buzz on it, so it looked like we putting some legs on this podcast. I really appreciate those that told me they appreciate what I'm doing. I want to keep hearing it. I want things to keep growing. I'm excited. I'm excited. So I got a lot of heat. And it's all freestyle, everything freestyle. So I appreciate y'all. Again, make sure y'all pay attention to those relationships, man, because I don't want you out here putting your money where you're not getting your return. Don't invest where you're not getting a return. Inshallah.